Hey guys, welcome back to the Dion Gaming channel. Today we are going to do some more replays, and at the same time, we're going to be showing you a little bit more of the Batariel decks and so on. It has been increased. If you actually checked my last previous video, which again, I'm actually going to put the picture in here instead of editing into it, is this one right here, Batariel replayed on ND LSS deck. When you actually look at the game, I always keep looking around and such. You'll see that people are definitely buying the Batariel and says want to buy Batariel Red. At the same time, you'll see other players using it in campaign. This picture was sent from a friend of mine. Then you're also going to be seeing them people actually trying to buy Enlightenment. As here, Enlightenment, and the bottom one, people trying to trade for Enlightenment because it's such a overwhelming deck. If you actually watch the video, the previous one, which is the one that I just showed right now on the Batariel deck and the LSS, you'll see how easy it is to just put the spell on one character, one monster, and pretty much just demolish everything that comes through his way. You guys, we're gonna go right here into the news. No, not news. We're going here Chronicle, and we have the replays down here. Which, if you don't know, you can actually save the replay. You can you can save it separately, or you can just copy paste it on your Battle Forge folder on the bottom left side. Just go to the library, go to documents, go to your Battle Forge, go to replay, and then you can actually copy paste whatever you did on the last match. So we're actually going to be jumping on each one of them. We're actually going to go for the first one. Is the ship Bata, next by Snoring Bata, and then the Blackest Day. We're actually losing this one. You'll see why. The ships again, those two are actually main Lost Soul deck. It's not just playing ships and stuff like that. The Bata Hey Snow, it will be the last video that we will see. Not sure if I'm going to put it in order. Maybe I'll go with Bata first, and then later on we'll go with the ships and so on. So let's go. Since this one has ships and Bata, we're actually going to be starting that one first. Starting the match. The videos are between 3 days back and all the way to now. So there are going to be actually 2 days back, I think. It's around maybe 2 or 3 days back all the way to now and so on. So we're going to start right here. Nox Trooper for me. Someone else is going to, Malari is going to start with a Frost Mage, and actually me, right? And Warm Meat is going to use his nature deck. And then we have here Marquette using his the Forsaken deck. Now, funny part is that I did actually one time DC with a group with them, and what happens was that when that happened, I was still technically potted, but I was unteamed. I didn't know that. I just know that I can join any other type of match and able to pretty much hear their chat, sorry, and still being able to play my game with someone else while hearing chat, which is a bug in the game, by the way. It hasn't actually gotten fixed correctly. Alright, it's going to see everybody here. They're going to be doing fine. Malaria is going to be doing fine. I'm not sure. I think it's Malaria who's going to be playing the Batariel. He's went with the Frost first, and then Shadow. I usually go Shadow, so I can start using the resource booster to help me speed things up, and then I'll change it during the end. I'll change the orbs back and forward and so on. Alright, right here Marquis is going to try with his. I'm actually going to head and use the birds. And by the way, the increase, I don't know if I'll put it somewhere on top of the right or left. This is the Shadow Phoenix. It's majorly used in RPVE 9s. I'm not sure about 10 or anything like that because I haven't only played like 4 for the map. I don't do much 10. But the birds are variously overused in these maps because they're quite easy. And right here, pay attention. He actually goes to the right side to actually collect his power well. One of the things that you can do is just send one of your units. That way, when monsters like these come back, you'll be ready to fight them. And that did happen in another game. I had a little argument with someone because he actually came to the right side, and that caused some little issue between our wells and monuments actually dying. So there it is. I actually threw out the birds with the embalmment, and I'm just pretty much gonna be stalling with the resource boost, just try to get what I need in here and so on. On the right side, again, I'm actually not playing Batariel on this one. I'm playing ships on this one because I was asked to play the ships so they can see it and so on. And while I'm actually majority of the time now, I'm playing Batariel. Right side seems to be doing great. I've been seeing this a lot, majority of the time. Deep 1 being played in here, which is actually quite cool. Again, he actually goes here and he's still summoning creatures. I told him not to. He doesn't need to. It doesn't matter if they actually come over here. The ship is going to be able to handle it. I use one of the ships, one of the armor tower, which is the specific building that I've been using ever since I joined the game and I got the ships and so on. And I was able to get some BF. The armor tower is where I was started to use for my ships. Some other people say it's Altar for Chaos is better, but it's actually quite not. I tested it, it's not. So again, right here on the right side, Siege Worm. Don't have to really worry about that. Let's actually fast forward this because during this time, I'm pretty much using the Cultist Masters to feed the furnace so that the void power goes into my current power pool. So there it is. And while doing that, 90% of the cost of the armor tower also goes into the void power when being sucked. And again, since I'm feeding the furnace with the Cultist Master, it goes back into the actual power pool. So I'm actually going to start with three ships this time. It seems that these maps are quite goddamn easy. It's not like the snow maps or the Lost Soul maps or the Twilight map. These maps are very, 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 very easy, so I'm not gonna really need to go crazy with the with 4 or 5 ships or anything like that. On the right side, we have Malarney right there playing with the Batariel. It's gonna be quite easy to actually finish this up. And though I really want to actually pay attention at both of them, because in this I only start using one of the healing and then alternating back and forth with them. I also wanted to show the Batariel over here. Which again, you use the life weaving to reduce the damage. You can use unholy protection to reduce the damage and increase the power of the Batariel. But the most thing that you have to use on the Batariel is the unholy hero increases his damage by 200%, and I'm pretty sure that includes everything else plus his ability and so on. So he really doesn't have to worry about that. I move up forward. Again, I only use one part of this ship. I use a Lost Evocation to increase the ships, the dragon that I have, as I have 2 dragons with their ability and so on. I tried to make sure that the dragons tried to hit the everything like cannons and so on to shut it down in here, because that's actually going to be helping me. We're going to look back right here again. Not much going on again. He's just going to destroy everything very quite easily. I'm just going to go right ahead. Where is my partner? I just noticed I didn't have my partner during that time. Did I? No. Okay, so not really matter. It doesn't really quite matter. I can actually handle the Lost Spirit ship. This type of deck specifically designed to go alone, even though the only heal that it has at the moment is the Lost Spirit ship. It doesn't have blood healing or anything like that into it. So I'm actually going to be finished that real quickly. Batari already demolished that area. He's going to come over here, probably go right. I'm not sure if I'm the one. I think I'm the one who goes right, and he goes on the bottom here to the middle side. So let's actually fast forward this. As we move to the right, I already see them coming, so I'm just gonna go ahead and move to the right side. At the same time, I want to show you that during this time, if I do lose someone on my heal, I will use my Arctic Call to be able to summon some of the armor tower much faster, while here, boom, 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 Batariel pretty much just annihilates things. And to be honest with you, he can do it alone. You'll see more videos about that. He can technically do it alone. He doesn't need help, but it's always great to have someone next to you helping out and stuff like that. But again, I think they might split up right here. Not sure. I didn't read chat or anything like that, so I'm not sure if they're splitting up or so on. Yes, there are. Yes, they are. He's just going along on the right side. He didn't. Did he use weaving? Let's look. He used unholy, but he didn't use. I don't think he used weaving or anything like that, so that might be a little trouble with him, but he should be fine or anything like that. I over here start focusing on the Slave Master, but again, I use all the ship's ability to heal, and it also does damage and so on. And then I use my my Lost Warden to move ahead so I can actually teleport them onto the other side. They will follow in the middle, but then that's no problem. As you looked over here, he's going to handle the Commander Walker by himself, and no problem. He did use the Unholy Hero in here. I'm going to move back over here, and now I'll show you that again. If any of these gets pretty low, I'll start using the Lost Spirit ship mechanic, and I also use the Lost Evocation. I think I used it way before this already, and that actually helped me out. So right here, you may not seen it, but there is a there it is. It's right here. You actually see it right here. It's kind of like a circle around. This is the Arctic's Call. It's actually making them summon it 55% faster, and then the right here, occultist master feed into this so that the void power goes into the power pool. Look, keep an eye on the void power on top, and as they suck everything back up, 90% of that power goes into the void power. Again, the cultist master's bugs feeding the furnace will make it go back into the actual power pool. So he's just gonna go come right here on the top right side and just finish up that Commander Walker. He's technically should have finished it already. I'm not sure why it took that long. It really doesn't take like long to actually finish that kind of monster with the Batariel or anything like that. But anyway, I mean, I'm not sure if he has a bunch of the same spells, charges, and so on. So I'm going to move on top. I'm going to use my spirit ships. And that's the reason why I use the Nethergate Blue. Is because I don't need to move. I would love the heals. I would love the fast movement or anything like that, but don't need it. I just go quite quickly ahead and teleport to the area and then drop my ships healing while using the 2 lost soul dragon to shut down buildings or anything in this range. Now we don't know this right here because we can't see all the maps, but again I do summon some of my creatures and so on to separate into the area. One of the dragon is going to go right up here and the other dragon is just going to go to the right side. As soon as he moved with his Batariel, he did ping where the location was when we first saw the red, and that's when I used the soul shatter automatically as soon as I saw him on top of it. Now obviously that shouldn't really damage too much because he should be having life weaving and other protection. So there it is, boom, and it just destroys everything. And we're gonna go and stop that one and move into the next replay. Ooh, damn, I'm so good. Literally almost knocked the fucking juice. Waiting for this generate map so I can keep speaking. Alright, let's move to the next one. Derek content. We are actually going to be focusing more on the Batariel, and at the end I'll start doing the one with the ships and so on, because the main decks that we are still promoting more than the Lost Spirit ship now, because I already did the job for the promoting for the Lost Spirit ship. Now we're doing more the Batariel than the Lost Spirit ship deck that I have, and so on. So we are going to move more with the Batariel, and then later in the end, close to the end of the video or so on, we are going to be moving. Plus a little just ahead of time, there's going to be, I think, a profile deck for the 3 by Abatotui and so on. So stay tuned for that, or just skip to the end of the video, or close to the end of the video, and so on. So again, and one more time, we have someone here named Nasu, which at one point did made a mistake in one of the other maps, but we're actually going to be covering that more when we get to the spirit ship, I think, of the map of that. Again, here I'm going to be using the Nos Trooper again with the Soul Splicer. I'm going to look over here, and I think we have Vavak. Vavak. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that right. With Firesworn? Yes, Firesworn. And here again, Butters with Frost Mage. I'm not laughing at the Frost Mage. It's just I remember Butters from a cartoon, which I can't remember. I remember the name from the cartoon, but I can't remember where it was from. What name of that cartoon it was. But again, so he's going to be using the fire. I'm just going to using the shadow. Going to shadow again. Resource booster. Same crap every time. Fabric is going to be a little bit different here though. He's going to be using the fire sword to swoop everything real quickly. It does hit really hard. It does knocks back. I really like this. But again, most people use the nomads with the what is it called? The mines and so on. Butters already he's not waiting. He's just going straight in, you know. He's not waiting. Again, what you're going to be seeing here is like I pretty much tried to help him first so you can survive that a little bit better. And then I actually start hitting the camps. That's going to be actually taken quite quickly. So we're going to move this real much more quicker so we can get to the Batariel points. And here, over here, and again, I'm going to summon the 3 of them again. We're going to move forward. I'm going to skip that. And I'm just going to move straight to the camp, and it's just going to annihilate the camp. One of the overused card, the Phoenix and the Emboldenment. So if you're in a shadow, go start using these. They're very awesome, very easy to use. Again, right here we see the Lost Horror green, which actually shoots 3. The Lost Horror red shoots only 2, but it knocks out medium and small units and so on. So he's going to be using this to try to protect this area while building his side. I'm going to be going to the left, and I'm obviously going to be using the furnace very soon. Not sure if I'm going to be. I don't know. I shouldn't have Coast Masters on this one because it's not the ships and so on. But I keep mine, my Shadow Phoenix here because again, he's even though he used the lava field, I don't see too much protection, so I try to use what I can here, and already have my Batariel. All right. So let's actually look around a bit, make sure that we don't miss anything here. I know I'm already have some of the stuff over here already, which you hear the Shrine of Wars and so on. And then we're actually going to start moving forward in a second as the guy does his things with the ships right here. And here's the weird funny part. Actually, you really have to stop this for a bit, for a second. They used this, the Lost Warden, which is a part of my Lost Soul deck. I don't know Butters, by the way. So we have here the Lost Spirit ship. We have Butters with the Lost Soul warlord. They do summon the dragon and so on, but I do see healing. So again, it's not a pure Lost Soul for this side with Avocate. So he'll be the one providing the heals, while Butters, I don't think he's going to be using any of the heals or anything like that. So I hope he has Lostification, and I hope he did go into the mode where you actually have the recycles on your ships. Otherwise, it's really not going to matter. His partner still has regrowth, equilibrium, and so on to actually help him out. So once again, Batariel is just going to finish everything up. He doesn't really, I don't really need to wait for him or anything like that. I can go up ahead and just pretty much finish everything by myself. That's because that's what Batariel is. If you look at the last video, you'll see me actually doing Blight solo and how he literally demolished everything by himself and so on. I'm going to be slowing this down so we look at a little bit more to the right. As you see, there is no ships in here with recycle. So I'm sure, again, he has to be using, there it is, the regrowth and so on. Vivek's monster did return to the left, so he doesn't actually get hit by that monster. Again, the Batariel is just going to go right around and just finish everything like much easy. I don't even need to use some spells and so on, but again, it's just face rolling. That's what Batariel is. I mean, how hard can it be to just put everything on one spell right on top of each other? And this is the reason why I do bring Revenge, just so I can also help my teammates who has their own units and may not have heals or anything like that. I mean, look at this. So I'm just going to be putting everything on top of him, and then as soon as he start hitting anything, which is a little bit hard at the moment, but anything you start hitting, look, it just pretty much blasts everything because it's 200% with his burn damage as well. So look, he's just walking and just demolishing everything in there. That, while we look over here again, what is this? Oh, are you using Nexus Portal? Someone is using the Nexus Portal, and that's something. Again, I'm just going to be moving down here. Not sure. Did I use it? Yeah, I think I used it. I think I used the disenchant and so on. I'm actually keeping an eye on everybody else as well, looking on the top left side and so on. These guys are going to hit us. But again, Batariel, one more time, is just pretty much going to annihilate things. I noticed that he was actually getting hit a little bit harder, but again, I don't have the equilibrium for every party, because usually Batariel goes alone and so on. I'm the type of player who either goes alone, or if they come with me, I enjoy it that they come and help me fight and so on. But again, as you see, I don't have the equilibrium green, I have equilibrium blue, which is for every enemy that I'm facing. But again, I'm gonna fight the ships and so on, and I'm gonna use the holy hero to increase my damage by 200%. And I don't have to do anything else because on the right side, if they're too close, they are going to die by my presence during the time that I was fighting those that ship. that look like the Raven ship or the Corsair and so on. So down here again, Butters and everybody else using the pure, well, not pure lasso. One Butters using pure lasso, the other one is using the ships with regrowth and a splash. I'm actually going to move this forward, and we're actually going to be watching this as we move forward. Again, sometimes it's cool about Batariel is that it not only does it actually help yourself, but let's say I had a match where someone had a construct and he was fighting one Groan or something like that. Mora was fighting Mora alone, and I just started using everything on him: unholy hero, unholy protection, life weaving, everything on him, and heals on him, and so on. Which actually was pretty cool. If I'm not in the presence and I'm not actually attacking, like I'm far away from here, I'll start healing these guys with regrowth. And if they get too close, like right here, I start using equilibrium and regrowth to actually help them out with the fight over here. But again, this is actually going to be a very easy match. The Batariel pretty much just owns everything on the right side, and with more help, it just pretty much finishes everything much quicker and so on. So there it is. Game over for that, and we're going to be moving to the next one, the next replay today. And now we're going to be starting the Blackest Night. And the Blackest Night actually does fail because they get wiped right here. This is actually the only time that someone gets technically wiped. It's the Large Art Fiend, or the Large Art Fiend with the one of those. I don't see it here though. There it is. The Large Art Fiend with the Lost Bane Stone. So let's actually start this real quickly. Again, we're gonna have Jadasu with the Frost. I'm gonna go with same crap with the Nos Troopers, obviously. We have Warming again going Nature, and then we have Vivek going with Shadow with his Witch Claw and so on. Yeah, so we're gonna be moving this a little bit quicker and such. They're going to do just fine. Oh, this one I have to back up a bit. Again, I love shamans. I love the going natures and so on, and shamans and such, because if you actually go with enough creatures, you don't really have to worry. He didn't go with enough creatures, so I think something bad actually happened there. On the right side, Jesus, it's gonna get annihilated over and over. So there it is. Look, it's just getting annihilated over and over and over. Pure, poor Frost guy on the first T1. Again, Warming's going with his big creatures. I'm going to go with one tune, and the reason why I see one tune, which is actually my sacrifice tune, because I was going to destroy a majority of them and just keep one. That's what I do on each one. But this is my sacrifice tune, and the reason I do this is because I need to see if Skyfallen is going to be here or not here. Once I see Skyfallen not being here, then I know that I don't need to bring a bunch of Nos Troopers to fight it, because I did show that one area when I fought it with 5 or 6, and I was fine to survive it. But if I don't have that, then again the birds are not gonna do great well. The Skyfallen is literally gonna beat the living crap out of me with it. So the first thing I do is actually try to destroy the camp, so they don't destroy it onto it. This is actually going to be opening up a spot for me to get attack. And the reason that is because I'm going to destroy this, and then instead of actually going to my left side and try to help myself, I need to go to his side, because again, we're losing time during this time. Again, I'm not trying to be like greedy or anything like that. I have to try to help whoever is on the right side. You know, it's not fun someone getting annihilated, or being annihilated and so on. So again, my left side, I start using at least, I think one. Nope, both of them, it goes off. I think I'm going to. Yep, both of them survive. With it was enough at least, and then I'm going to move slowly to get my power wells and so on. So during that time, I actually had to save Jonasu from all that he had to still face and so on. So he's going to be a little bit ahead of me now because of that. If I could just get my goddamn Nos Trooper. Again, while this is going on, I will not use my Phoenixes on this. This is actually have to clear the Lund area. Vavak went with the Harvester. Boom. That's actually going to clear this. And again, deep one form Warm Yeet. So I'm just going to go right here and start fast forwarding this, because again, it's just going to be me just literally pretty much clearing the map over here. So that's going to be cleared. And then we're going to move forward. I'm actually going to be looking at this right here, because I really wonder what he's going to do. He's using that so he can feed to his furnace and so on. And then he's going to go with his Ashborn. That's actually pretty good. and so on. Look over here for a bit. Fanatic Assault, nice. Don't have to worry about my side because I know as soon as I'm gonna summon